Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV, and welcome to the Cathedral of Speed, the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, for the latest round of the Simracersworld GT Series. We are up and running with the season now, but it's round 3 or 4 of the season, and we are at one of the quickest race tracks on the iRacing service. Good broadcast coming up tonight. Joining me in the commentary box for this one, alongside me, Adam Bath, and Sam Kuma on the cameras. It's Andrew Woodhouse, and Woody, we're back here. Ciao to you, and welcome to Monza. And yeah, 5.75 kilometre circuit. It's set to be a good one here in what is looking like a pretty decent sized GT field.
Yeah, it's going to be good, isn't it? Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Adam. Ciao a tutti, as well, of course. Yeah, it's a fun one, isn't it? Monza. It's always good. It's always exciting. The GT cars are in play, and yeah, I'm ready for it.
A practice session is just going on at the moment. I must say, I do like the livery there on Stein van Wel's racing car coming out the final corner. A ode to the 1991 Jordan, it looks like, there coming across the line. Hopefully he can drive it a lot better than Bertrand Gachot did as he comes across the line and does a 46-1.
Hopefully he can be in jail a lot less.
It's definitely a lot easier on the eyes than what he sprayed that taxi driver with as he goes through the Rettifilio. He's currently provisionally fastest in this practice session. If you're new to this series, the colours down the side, the yellow, which is gold, they are the gold drivers. They are basically the pros. The silvers are the pro-ams, if you will. And then we've got the bronze category at the bottom, which if you follow the Blancpain GT series, I guess you could liken that to the gentleman driver class. And we'll be able to keep an eye on all the drivers that are competing, and a few familiar faces as well in each of the classes too. If you've followed any of our coverage before on Apex Racing TV, we can run you through the points quickly. We'll run you through the top 5 in each class. It's been practicing this. It's EF Van Genechten that's leading the way there in the Mercedes AMG. Then it's Gregory Vrankix in second and Matthias Dechig in third. And then Bart Delman fourth with Ruben Van Buel, who we're looking at in fifth. Good to see a BMW Z4 there. Man after my own heart, I must say. Then over to the silver category, where we've got a few more BMWs, but it's a Mercedes leading the way in that class. It's Nick Sherman's first there. Then Daniel McCauley in second. Pretty quick driver, Daniel McCauley, as I'm reliably told by some of the Apex Racing UK team. Andrew Hopley in third, Cope Clayson joint third with him, and then in fifth in the Ferrari 488 is Anton Dupont. So that's the first of the Ferraris, I believe, in that category. Then over to the bronze, we've got Van Oosven in first, Israel Marin in second, Stuart Muscle White in third, Dries Mujdi in fourth, and then fifth is Jochen Lennertz.
Now, sorry to point out, you did miss out the second place man in the bronze, which is Thijs Berger, I believe is the
right.
I believe is the man there. Car 315. As it stands at the minute, very, very late stages of practice, and some drivers putting in their personal best sectors and things like that, and you know, looking to get that perfect setup before qualifying. And Berger, as we mentioned there, oh dear. Oh, that was a big one. I'm not sure who that was. Who ended up into the fence, but it's a good job that's practice and not qualifying.
Yeah, just as we advanced as well. That was all good.
Well, qualifying is now upon us, and a 20-minute session here. A bit of a novelty for us, actually, Adam, with a 20-minute session on tap and us covering the entire thing. So it's going to be fun to see. Of course, this is the interesting bit, isn't it, with Monza, is you have to try and find enough space on the track that your lap's not hindered, but of course the slipstream will help you, so it's getting that balance, isn't it?
It's all going to be very interesting to see if any of these drivers have any friends out there or any teammates that are going to be able to help them. We've seen it in so many series before that we've covered. In qualifying, they are going to be your best friend, and you can gain in some of the cars that we've seen on this channel before in a qualifying run is probably as much as half a second down the front straight. So we'll see what happens. This is the guy that was quickest in practice. Stein van Wel is that BMW is on its way towards to Lesmos. He's on an outlap, of course, and hopefully we'll be able to give everybody watching as clear a picture as we can about who is on a hot lap and who is doing pretty well in the qualifying session.
Well, it's good to see a couple of familiar names out there as well. The Automech Knockhill team are out there with Ben Mears and Roy Ververke, and then it's and then Simmortal with Ronald Moons. So a few drivers who are very, very familiar to the channel. Bart Dowman as well, Lee Woodburn.
Yeah,
they're the ones that I recognise anyway.
Yeah, Nomad Sim Racing.
Vanks.
Yeah, in the World GT Championship, Gregory Vanks. Yeah, I've heard of him as well.
And Fernando Couto, not the AC Milan defender, famous Portuguese football player of the 90s.
And definitely not Andre Couto, who's a Macanese World Touring Car driver. Always seems to get wheeled out for the
for the Macau racer.
Yeah, for the Macau racer.
What do we think is going to happen then? Which car are we expecting that to be the strongest one? Do we think the Mercedes is going to be again the main exponent of these longer tracks?
Well, I think that our guess is as good as the drivers, because of course we're only a few weeks into a new build on iRacing, and the balance of performance just changed there as well. So it's going to be interesting to see. The Ferrari, I've been told by some of the Apex UK guys, is the quickest in a straight line, but we'll have to wait and see there, because we haven't got too many Ferraris that have competed in the championship so far. Just looking at the championship standings, the highest driver we've got in the Ferrari is Anton Dupin in 13th overall, and Steve Clace in the gold class in his Ferrari. We'll get to see if there's anybody else. Oh, speaking of
Duamco Barrier, I think at this time. Who's the BMW as well? There was a BMW involved in this one as well. Yellow Ferrari goes into the Ascari chicane, going through that, and two cars had already crashed. Oh dear!
It's one of the bronze drivers,
and it's one of the Nomad Sim Racing cars as well. That looks like it's been in the walls a little bit.
Yeah. Not too sure on the BMW. I don't want to start assuming. So we'll go back to the qualifying session. And here is Stan Van Well. You can see purple, some purple sectors.
Lots of purple sectors. 3 of them, in fact, out of the 4 that he's completed. Just the Parabica. How many laps have we seen at Monza that go awry through there, though, man?
Yeah, it's probably one of the hardest corners to get right, because you've got to set it up for this relatively short run to the timing line. Over the line he goes, and he goes straight into pole position with a 1:46.1, 0.3 of a second quicker than Steve Clace. Daniel McCauley not able to better that, but he is quickest in his class, in the silver class, and he's joined by John McConville. So silver cars getting in some lap times early. In fact, a flurry of silver cars there is up into third goes Arturo Alonso Alvarez in the VRO car.
Yeah, Alvarez going well. Van den Egten going decently as well. In who's currently without a time at the minute, Van den Egten. Gregory Vanch as well. Stuart Musselwhite. Van den Egten then goes second with a 1:46.3, and that is only 1/10 of a second off the fastest time so far.
Matthias Dettig goes into second with a 1:46.21, just 93 thousandths of a second away from Van Buel, our provisional pole sitter. There he is.
Poor old Van den Egten, actually. He's less than 2/10 off the pole position time at the moment, but in 5th place.
I think this could be a sign of things to come, really. Bart Delman goes into second, just 13 thousandths off Stein Van Buel. You can see at the bottom, green boxes mean it's a personal best. Yellow box means it's slower, and if you get a purple, then you're the overall fastest in that sector. So we'll keep an eye out for that. And a few greens there as Steve Clace comes across the line to do a 1:46.6, just half a second away. And Daniel McCauley in the silver class does a 46.5 to put him into 8th.
I do know that name, Steve Clace. He was in the... I believe he might have been in the... maybe in the World GTs at one point. Maybe one of the seasons there. I'm not sure. I can't quite remember. Bod Boland has gone into 8th place. just 2/10 off pole. Also going well. I mean, all these guys are on personal best, of course, as told by the green sectors. Lee Diemer, Ron Moons as well. Diemer goes 21st, Moons goes 22nd. And Van Uitven then, well, he's aborted that one, I think. Oh no, he hasn't, he's come through in 20th.
Gregory Vrankix is about to come across the line in the Sim Racers World car. He does a pole position, 45.807 for the Sim Racers World car. 0.3 of a second quicker than Stein Van Wel. A gauntlet very much thrown down there, and we'll see if Van Wel can respond. He's on an out lap now. He's about to start a flying lap, and I wonder if we could go on board with him, and we might be able to see a pole lap in action as Bart Delman goes even quicker, moves up second with a 46.1.
Yeah, here we go then. Van Wel coming to the line. See how he goes across the start-finish line for him. And this longest straight on the circuit. Got to really pick the braking point. Probably about 175 metres. Oh no, well, about 150. Turns it in. Don't cut the course on the inside. That'll ruin your lap before it's even started. Gets on the power nice and neatly. Good traction out of the Rettifilio. And through Curva Grande now. And literally means big corner. And it is. But for these cars, very, very simple indeed. Spot your braking for the Curva della Rogia. Just after the bridge. 120 metres. ABS helping to slow the car down. And just about keeps it within the limit. Coming out of the Rogia then, it tightens on the exit. This is Lesmo 1. A lot of camber, you've got to hug the inside line, get early on the power, use all that AstroTurf on the outside and the curbing. And then Lesmo 2, you've got to really throw the car into here to get the best out of it. Thinks about the slipstream, doesn't. There was a car sort of dawdling on the outside there, a Mercedes. But on goes Van Wel.
Personal best in sector 2.
Ruben Van Wel then is also on a lap through Ascari for Stein. Oh, hits the curb quite hard, but he's still with it. And now the straightest run possible to Curva de Parabolica, which used to be an absolutely fearsome corner. Still very difficult, but the challenge has been nerfed in recent years with the addition of that concrete runoff area on the outside, which means you can go all the way over to the white line without danger. Cut back to the inside for the shortest route. Let's see how Van Wel does. Here he comes to the line. And it is... Ooh, is that a slight improvement? I think it might have been.
Just about, yeah, 46.176.
No personal best apart from the final sector there.
Yeah, there you go. So that's a lap of the Monza circuit for you in car 5. Well racing. Got any teammates with him for this one? But that's an okay lap from him, and we'll see if he can get any laps in before the end. Here are two teammates though. This is Van Genekten in the Atomic Motorsports car, and behind him, I'm guessing by just looking there, I think it is Peter Growls as we come across the line. Is he going to improve Van Genekten? Is it going to be pole? No. Or is he starting a? He might be starting a flying lap, you know. So this might be it for him now.
Well, that was at least it was an enthusiastic start to the flying lap. Anyway, courtesy of yourself. Let's see who else is on lap. Alvarez is on the lap as well. Looks like a slow lap actually for Alvarez. He might be. Oh, he's carrying on.
It is
over the line he goes, and it's in the 49s. That's not going to do anything for. Oh, it's a 47.4 for Alvarez. His fastest lap is a 46.3, so you can tell about that. Ronald Moons on a personal best lap, it looks like. 147.5 it is indeed, but he stays in 28th place.
Gregory Vrankix, the provisional pole sitter, about to come across the line. Is he going to improve? Doesn't look like it.
No, he's towing his teammate along, isn't he?
Indeed he is.
I think.
Yeah, and it gets Detagen to second with a new personal best, 46.0.
Oh, it's getting busy out there though, isn't it? Look at that. It's not going to be the easiest for them to find any clear air, and there goes Vrankix off into the runoff area. He's done his job.
Back in the pit lane he is. Bardelman coming through the final corner now, I'm guessing. He's just coming on his way now to the line. Currently sat in third for Nomad Sim Racing. Doesn't look like he's going to improve on his personal best of a 46.1. No, he doesn't. Boys, if the lap time...
No, it was close, actually. It was a 46.17, his best of 46.11, so he was not far away.
Yeah.
A lot of green sectors going in, Adam, especially further down the order.
Indeed, yeah. Berger.
Verke, for instance, has put in 4 personal best sectors.
Indeed, yeah. Oh yeah, I've just seen that. Berger, here's one of the bronze drivers. Currently sat second in the bronze class. He does a new personal best, 47.4. 1.6 seconds off the top gold car. Probably isn't too shabby, so I'm sure he'll be pleased with that.
I must admit, if that was me, I'd be perfectly happy with being within a second and a half. Oh, there's a crash coming out of this car. It is one of the Ferraris. I'm not exactly sure who that was. I think it was... I don't know who that was, actually, to be honest. Who spun.
Anyway, here comes Pedro Braganca. Or Braganza, I think, potentially. Over the line he goes. Yep. Matthias Dettage does a new personal best, 46.0. So that toe that he got from Gregory Vrankix worked a treat. Got him to within 2 tenths of his teammate, and means it's front row lockout for those guys at the moment.
Yeah, good run that for Dettage in the Sim Racers World car. Braganza has gone through. Bart Dowman's on a decent lap, actually. He's on 2 personal best sectors, Sector 1 and Sector 4. This is the very short Sector 5 coming to the line. He's not going to improve, I'm certain of it. Ah, he did. The time... No, the time stopped for us at 47. So, yeah, he'd already gone through. Peter Growls in 16th place has improved to a 46.8. He's just gone ahead of Chris Beretta. Berger again, good start to the lap from him, 27th at the moment. Can he finish the lap off strongly? Thijs Berger, 47.5. And that is, only a 10 slower than his best.
Looking here at Bram van Uytven, top bronze driver, coming out of the final corner. Looks like he is going to be coming around to complete his lap. His personal best is a 47.2. Over the line he goes and does a 40... Don't know, actually, doesn't come up. Might have been an invalidated lap. But as you were just mentioning a moment ago, track is very, very busy here going into the first corner. You can see just in front of him is one of the Automech BMWs. And the Sim Racers World cars, as you can see from the timing tower, coming out for what could potentially be their final run. Not had to say that since the old days of F1 qualifying.
Yes.
in the heat before 2003.
Slow out lap. Put my teeth back in. Is probably in order here, just to conserve the tyres. Because even though Monza isn't a particularly difficult circuit for tyres, you still want the best grip you can. Obviously, if you flying lap, that goes without saying. Van Buell is on a lap now from P10, and he's pitted actually. So obviously that lap wasn't good enough.
I think we might need a couple sets of teeth, just looking at all those out laps. We're going to have quite a few lap times to keep an eye on, I think, when they come over the line. Ruben Van Wel, the guy that was fastest in practice, has just put in a new personal best, a 46.319, to keep himself... Oh yeah, we've got 2 Van Wels, haven't we? That's going to be... that's not going to be confusing at all. We've got Ruben and we've got Stein, so we'll make sure... and they're driving for 2 teams. One's called Buell Racing and one's called Van Buell Racing. So,
that's not going to confuse us whatsoever, is it?
I'm just waiting to see what the difference in liveries is between the 2. There is Stein Van Buell in the Buell Racing car, and then here is Ruben Van Buell in the Van Buell Racing car. And as you can see, not too... Orange and red mirrors, we're getting told the differences between them, which even then isn't still still at speed going to be tough to tell the difference. But yeah, here we go. And as you can see from the timing tower, most of the cars that have been on outlaps, they have just about started their final, one of their final few flying laps. Here comes Stijn van Wel, going to start his flying lap now as he comes across the line. There's a few bronze drivers there at the bottom you can see have been putting in some new personal bests. Van Wel then. Sorry?
Sorry, yeah. No, I was just saying I'm struggling a bit with the cameras here, so I don't know if I've got something slightly wrong on that, but...
Default cameras, I believe, for this one.
Not helping.
And just make sure you turn the camera tool off when you're done. Press Control F12, otherwise your camera will follow you around.
That is what mine's been doing. Thank you very much, Adam.
Okay. Don't worry, I did
that's problem solved, isn't it?
I did a whole broadcast with that once and was having to press... Oh, a problem here for Gregory Vrankix. I don't know whether this is...
Is it a crash or...?
We'll wait and see. He's got his teammate behind him and into the Della Roggia. This is a replay. Oh, he hits that inside curve.
Well, you know what? His teammate will be quite happy because he didn't really get in his way, did he?
No, he
managed to... well, he crashed nice and conveniently.
Well, this is going to be interesting then. Here comes Detic into the Variante Ascari. Riding the inside curve, make sure not to get onto the rumble strips on the exit, and here we go.
Nice and smooth.
Yes, but it hasn't been
Smoothness is key, of course.
Around this circuit, it absolutely is. But looking at his split times, nothing to set the world alight for Matthias Detic. He's about to come through the final corner now. I'll be very surprised if he improves on this, but we'll wait and see. Out of the final corner he comes. You can see at the bottom of your screen, they're all yellow boxes. And over the line he goes, and 47 or something as he comes across the line. 40.
A little slow on the upload of the time. 46.02. That is an improvement.
I think that might be. I think his lap time was invalidated potentially. It didn't come out the side, and he's towed back to pits.
Not sure. Ian Roots goes 14th. Simracersworld on a 146.6.
Yep, there he is. Simracersworld well represented in the field today. Here is another one.
Sergio Souza has had 3 personal best lap times, and he's going on in. He's currently last of all, actually. So, and he goes 31st. That's a respectable first clean lap. It looks like for him.
It is. It's put him right in and amongst the bronze drivers, but if that's his first lap out of the pits, then I'm sure he can only go quicker from here. We've got just under 1 minute left of the qualifying session, so if he does want to improve, Sergio Souza, then this will have to be it. Not too many cars out on the circuit even. Fair.
No, the second last of the silver drivers at the moment is Souza.
Here comes Bart Delman then.
Yeah, he's been good so far, hasn't he? This is the out lap, so on to the flying lap for Delman. As see the likes of Israel Marin, Stijn van Buel coming over the start-finish line. Marin stays in 30th. Van Buel, though, like a decent-looking lap, but
it does. It moves him up to 3rd.
Yeah, good stuff. Nice lap there.
Yeah,
just before the finish as well.
Yeah, literally checker flag comes out just then. Van Genekten has got a few purples next to him. I don't know whereabouts he is on the circuit though. Is he on a lap? Here he is. Those purples might have been from his out lap.
Previous
not
lap.
too sure. Yeah.
But if you do purple, this is a good track to purple sector the out lap, isn't it? Because it means you've got the best possible run down the straight. Goes onto the gravel slightly, which shouldn't impede his progress too much. But into the Ascari, got to try and wrestle the Mercedes through it.
Another personal best 3rd sector as he throws the car into the left-hander.
Van Genekten then. What can he do? There's not a lot he can do from this point. He's got to sit tight until Parabolica, where he's going to brake as late as he possibly can. About the 100 or about the 70 meters. turns it in, gets a good line through there, on the power as early as you dare. Nice inside line, nice tight line on the exit. Maybe didn't get on the power as early as he would have liked. Very, very tight to the inside. How good is this? Oh, it's very good indeed. It's P4.
Moves him to within just 0.2 of a second of Gregory Vrancic. Here comes Israel Marin in the bronze class, in the bronze BMW, with the very decent paint scheme.
Personal best time though.
Yeah, 47.5. And looks like that is about it. I think the only driver left out on the circuit is Dries Mujdi, who must have literally crossed the line with a few seconds left on the clock, or he's returning to the pits. Either way, he's only 20 seconds into his. He's only 20.
Yeah, he must have finished.
He's 35th overall out of the 38 of the 39 cars took part in qualifying.
Yeah, it was fun. Good qualifying. Very close times all down the field. And it's going to be, as usual, extremely interesting to see who's going to get into turn 1 first. As we all know, it can get a little bit interesting down there. So yeah, we'll just have to see who's going to be the bravest. Also, who's going to be the most sensible?
What's the saying? You can't win the race in the first corner, but you can definitely make it difficult for yourself if go for that in the first corner. We'll wait and see. Shades of a Blancpain GT Series race I saw here a few years ago. It was about maybe even double the number of cars that we had here. I think that was the race which had Vadim Kogai in.
I was going to say this is the Vadim Kogai circuit, isn't it? Yes.
We do have a few green cars in the field, yeah.
We do indeed, but we also have many gold cars, and they are at the front of this grid, and we'll see them now. Gregory Vrancic is in the lead. Yeah, a lot of Belgians as well. Matthijs de Tige in second place. Stijn van Buul in third. EF Van Genekten in fourth. Bart Douwman in fifth. Ruben van Buul in sixth. Javier Garcia in seventh. Arturo Alvarez in eighth. Bob Boland in 9th, Steve Clays in 10th. Fernando Couto is 11th, with Dan McCauley in 12th. And 13th is Nick Shermans. 14th, Ian Roots. 15th, Andrew Hopley. 16th, Chris Moretta. Roy Ververke is in 17th. Anton Dupin is 18th. Peter Growles is in 19th. Ronald Moons is 20th. Kobe Claes is in 21st. 22nd is Jeremy Hessels. 23rd, Ben Thanes. Thanes. Apologies if I get any of these wrong. Benjamin Mears in 24th. Alberto Sáenz in 25th. Bram van Aertven in 26th. Stephen de Wolf in 27th. Thijs Berger in 28th. 29th is Lee Diemer. Israel Marin in 30th. 31st, Sergio Souza. Lee Woodburn 32nd, Jochen Lennartz in 33rd, Stuart Musselwhite 34th, Dries Mujdi in 35th, and Pedro Bragança is 36th. Senad Koshan is in 37th, John McConville is 38th. And bringing up the rear of the field is Luke Tice.
Dynamo Racing Car. Yeah, thank you very much for the grid. There is the track map on the right-hand side. Those are all the 5 sector points that we were looking at during the qualifying session, and any moment now the field is going to get underway for this half pace lap, and then we'll be getting set for the race. Should be a good one.
You have to ensure that you get a good jump if you're the leader. I know it's a really, really obvious thing to say, isn't it? But Vranch becomes the safety car now. He's the one who's got the field under his control. Once he'll start backing up fairly soon, I'd imagine. Let the pace car get a bit of a run. Let him just get enough of a run that he can just bolt whenever he wants and through Parabolica. In my opinion, I would go just as I turn into Parabolica, but I know some people like to go a little bit earlier, some even later, but I think the later you go, the more vulnerable you'll be.
Just need to make sure that you don't catch the pace car up. If you do go up on the exit of Parabolica.
I'll be honest with you, I think maybe could have let the pace car get a tiny bit further in front. I'm not sure whether that's what the rules of the league are in terms of that, but I would have given myself a little bit more of a jump than this, but we'll see how he goes.
Here we go then. An hour race, mandatory pit stop as well. Plenty of action for us to keep an eye on, and plenty of it could happen in the first corner. Gregory Vrankix, the start line is past the finish line, which is what they're crossing now. And then when the green lights go on, we'll be racing here. Away they go.
Oh, you see, that's the danger. That's the danger of going so late. He's got caught up by the Tige. The 3 wide in the middle already.
Gonna be interesting. Hard on the brakes into the first corner. It's gonna be Vrankix. It's 3 wide in the middle.
That Mercedes boshing its way through. Might have been Dalman maybe. Oh, there's stops at the back. Yeah. they haven't crashed, but they've stopped. Haven't crashed yet, maybe.
Yeah.
I do want to see that at some point, probably after the lap's finished. I think we should go back and have a look and just have a quick see why everybody was so slow there.
It looked like most cars were clean. I think the only one that had any crumpled bodywork was poor Lee Diemer in the Simortal car. He looks like he's dropped a few positions. But anyway, going through the first of the 2 Lesmos, it's the 2 Simracer cars leading the way. The top 3 are all as they started. It's Vrankix, Stettage, and then Van Boel. Good start by Bart Delman at one place, and here is Van Genexen, who's had a 4 starts, lost 2 places, trying to get one back already by trying to get past Javier Garcia.
Belgium versus Spain then. Oh, look at that up the inside. Oh, having a look is Van Buel in the 7-Up Jordan looking car. BMW not really suited to this track, is it?
Well, I credit them for trying, and you saw in qualifying that they were having to get a bit inventive.
Oh, crash at the back.
It's the Simortal car. It's Diemer again, is it? No, it's Ronald Moons in the other Simortal car.
Oh, somebody's crashed on the straight, Adam. I can hear it.
Oh,
there we go. It's further down.
Oh, it's a big one. It's Sousa.
That is. That's a mess.
That's Berger. He was crashing in practice. When we joined him. That's Stuart. Yeah, very corner. Stuart Musselwhite. Here is Ronald Moons, which could be where the incident started.
I don't know if the Moons one has anything to do with this. He bunny hops over the curb, comes back across, and
I don't know if a few cars.
Oh, they've crashed on their own. Look, they've gone up there. Oh my goodness me!
Steven De Wolf. Dynamo racing car.
Oh,
I like a thicker dynamite. VRO.
So what happened? We need to have a look at Marin maybe and see exactly what happened there, because the Moons. He crashed and then everyone else just crashed on their own.
Well, never mind the VRO car. There's a BMW pushing against the wall. Yeah. Never mind VRO. Could need some VAR here to decipher this one.
No.
Here is.
He has to swerve. Yeah. He has to swerve across, and that's what does it for everybody else, sadly. Oh, bang! That Mercedes got a real hit. That was Berger, wasn't it?
And you can see there, we've got quite a few cars involved in the melee down.
There's a crash at Lesmo too.
It is, yeah, 28. That's the silver car, is it? Oh, it's not Ronald Moons again, is it?
A couple of cars involved. No, it wasn't Moons. It was a car in 29th place, I think. It was. But somebody definitely crashed at Lesmo too, just a moment ago.
They haven't had to tow back to the pits, which is the main thing. Here's a replay of what essentially happened.
I think here we go.
That's another Simortal car.
Oh, and that's 3 of them gone in the space of no time at all, really.
It's not Lee Diemer, was it? Oh, it is. And 2 Simortal cars gone already.
Franks leads. Oh, yeah. Franks leads the way. And here comes Dan McCauley, CQR Club car.
Highest silver driver in the field. Leads second silver's Alvarez. It's Sherman's Hopley, Dupin and Clace. That is the state of play in the silver classes.
There's a tidy driver is McCauley. Oh, and the Mercedes very sideways there. I think that's Boland. It might be it might be, it was Boland. 7th place, getting really sideways. Van Buel and McCauley then really battling hard in the BMWs.
through second Lesmo. Bit of an understeer going on there for Daniel McCauley. Didn't really hit the apex that he would have liked, and that allows the Ferrari to close in a little bit there. Highest Ferrari in the field, I think, as Steve Clay starts to apply the pressure in the Learn to Race car. Scary here, all avoiding that inside curb. Going to be interesting to see if the Ferrari can gain some speed on this BMW. There's two BMWs in front of him. See if he can utilise that extra top speed in the Ferrari and try and close the gap going into a Parabolica here, and then try and use that to go down the front straight. Cockpit to he know very well.
Yeah, speaking of... Oh, he's going for it into Parabolica. That is ambitious. But speaking of learning to race, I raced... This was the first track I ever raced on a Formula 1 game back in... I think it was 1995.
So Grand Prix 2 or Grand Prix
1?
Grand Prix 1.
Grand Prix 1. I was a tiny bit behind the times. But there you go. It is the highest Ferrari in the field, Steve Clay's.
It's Frankix has been shown as off the track on my screen then for a moment. It might have just run through a bit of the gravel.
I will say that Clay's is going to have the Tifosi behind him. That's for sure.
Well,
as the only Ferrari in the top 10, and this battle for the lead is quite excellent at the moment. Frankix, I really don't know how to say his name. I do apologise, Gregory, if you can tell me. I know I've covered you before in some races, but yeah, I honestly... Vranks, yep, okay, yep. Thank you, Sam. Sam's the man with the pronunciations there. The Tige has taken the lead, though.
They orchestrated that well, because they could have allowed Van Buel to get in there, but they managed to stop the rot there. Here's Ian Root battling away with Fernando Couto going into the second Lesmo. VRO versus another Simracersworld car. And
Moretta. Oh, he's trying to go up the middle. This is going to be dangerous. 3 Mercs here, 4 Mercs here. Sherman's getting involved as well. Nick Sherman's.
What are you doing, man?
Oh, he's coming right across. Oh my word, I wouldn't do that. What's going on? What is happening?
Couto,
that was close, though.
Flying in behind. Before it all kicked off, I was going to say we've both been cut from the same cloth in terms of first ever racing game. Mine was Hockenheim, though. That was Grand Prix 3. Slightly further along the line.
It would be, yes, indeed, definitely. One which we played quite a lot of a couple of years ago, actually, didn't we? Last year, I think it was.
Yeah, Grand Prix 3, Grand Prix 4. F. Crammond. Get Grand Prix 5 out. It's been overdue.
Do it. Why not? Why not? Here we go, side by side then. Boland and Van Buel. Garcia, sorry. Looks like a good move there by Bod Boland.
Into the rest of the video. See if Ruben Van Buel can now start to apply the pressure on Garcia now that he's just been overtaken. Back to where he started, Garcia, and looking from the nose of the BMW.
He's right there, but his problem is that Garcia, 46 car, has got his slipstream from the car in front too.
Mini Rossi on the back of that Mercedes, car 46.
There you go.
No need to guess who he's in favour of. MotoGP not too far away from firing back up again. Of course, Rally Monte Carlo in much colder conditions than this.
Oh, Boland! Oh, he's done well to keep that.
And he would have got
killed. Lose 4 spots though.
Claes could get him too. Mercedes v Ferrari, it's something we'll be hoping can see on the F1 grid this year. And through goes Claes into 9th, and demotes Boland even further. Down, down, down into 10th place.
Yes, down, down, down out of the top 6 for Boland. But he's got the pace, hasn't he? He's worked his way to the front of the group, so there's no reason why he can't do that again. Two distinct groups formed now, actually, with De Tige, Vranks, Van Buel, and Dowman in a 4, and then it's these 5 or 6 here. Oh, off. Oh, very wide was Ververke.
Man that we see every year at the Sim Racing Expo.
Always got a smile on his face as Roy.
It's usually because he sees you and me, I think.
Yes, he did. Yes. It's more of an ironic smile, isn't it? I think. That certainly would be my reaction if I saw us. Ververke's having a look at Kobe Clay's Dynamo Racing car. Oh my word! Big wiggle.
This is over first. 5th place in the. Oh no, I lied. 6th place in the silver class.
Silver. Oh, speaking of silver, actually, Dan McCauley just gained another place. He's up to 7th place. He won in the silver class, but yeah, he's putting a lot of the gold drivers to shame here.
A lot of.
And up the inside goes the Ferrari. Clay's going through into 8th place.
Oh, opportunistic there. A lot of track.
Oh, he's going to be prey to the BMW here, though. Boland as well, trying to make up lost positions. Oh, they're taking each other out. On the straight, under the bridge. You know what that's like, Adam. We come to grief there, but... I must admit, not a desirable one for either of them that time.
I was going to say...
Boland's race is getting worse.
The BMW just didn't have the top speed, and the Ferrari, the car behind, sorry, was impatient, I think, and the two came together. The BMW was trying to pull alongside. He had the extra speed originally, but without any slipstream help, the BMW just stagnated a bit there.
I'm not sure some of the guys got the memo of it being an hour race, to be honest, mate. The way that some of this slipstreaming is happening. Yes.
Meanwhile,
the 6th of the race.
Oh yeah, I can't. My maths. There you go. Quick maths. I got a B.
That's it. Here's Hopley then. Andrew Hopley, CMR Esports 225, and he is well and truly in the middle of it. He's got a bit of damage to the front of that Z4. Teammate behind him. He's got Nick Sherman's just in front of him. Simracersworld car. CMR Esports have got a good complement of cars, and they've actually all... I think they were just missing each other, Adam. I think they just wanted to be closer together. I think that's why Boland crashed, just so he could be with his teammates.
Strength in numbers, pack mentality.
That's it. Oh, what's happened to McCauley?
Yeah, the CQR Club car is shown in red on the timing screen. He's dropped out. Oh, goodness me, he's off at second Lesmo.
That's an unusual place to be off, isn't it?
Now, he went off
it's
backwards.
Like he's lost it on the way into the corner.
He went off backwards, which almost certainly implies that he may have had a bit of help, potentially.
I wonder if he's nudged the grass, you know. Oh, he's gone all the way onto the gravel, keeps his foot in it, fair play, full berries, and off into the gravel. Oh.
Schumacher doing out Austria in 98.
I think he'll watch that back and feel like a bit of a daft person. I think if he could have been a little bit more careful, he'd have probably got away with that. You know, I'm no expert, but I think he could have just made sure he got back on safely, maybe lost one place and lived to fight another day. Van Genekten in P4. Having a look on Van Buel going through into 4th position for car 4. And Van Buel, car 5, now in 5th place.
Fortunate there that, just quickly again on McCauley, that it was the kind of barrier that he hit didn't do too much damage to the car. There's no fast repairs in this series, so you've got the tools at your disposal for the rest of the race, really. So any of those cars are going to be struggling. Here is our bronze leader, by the way.
With McCauley, by the way, just quickly, his problem was just carrying too much speed in Lesmo 1, wasn't it? And that was the downfall of him, really. But here is Bram van Outven. He's only a quarter of a second behind the car in front, as you can see, Jeremy Hessels.
Mercedes versus BMW here.
Look at that livery as well. Terrific. See that coming.
Here's Lee Woodburn in the Excite Racing car. Car 375, currently sat in 2nd place in the bronze class. Not too much to trouble him. He's in a bit of a world of his own, really. He's 11 seconds behind the bronze leader, and he's 5.5 seconds ahead of Luke Thies in the Dynamo Racing car. He's sat in 3rd place in the BMW. There he is. And he's got Sina Koken in the Simracersworld Audi, keeping him for company.
Yeah, and it's changed for 3rd as well. Van Genekten up to P3 ahead of Bart Dowman. Not sure you can really go over there, really, in the race to try and overtake.
Yeah, I remember a monumental shunt in the Formula 3.5 with cars doing that.
Yeah, that's probably why it was banned. I think that's a lapped car.
Yeah, someone cut the course there.
Berger, isn't it? Who's oh no, it's Berger who was recovering from the big wreck that he had earlier on.
I think it was at this circuit where Formula 3.5 race got abandoned because they couldn't trust the drivers to behave.
That was a Formula 3 race, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, Formula 3 race.
Oh!
And through.
Connecting late on the brakes, still defending from Dowman. Dowman gets a good exit on there, and he can't cover him, Van den Egten, so it's going to be Bart Dowman up the inside, back onto the podium as it stands, but not for long.
Up the inside goes Van den Egten, and he takes the place back, but this is just going to hold these guys up, and now here comes Stijn van Well in the Well racing car. He's got a fantastic view of that battle, and now he fancies a piece of the action.
Lifting off.
Yeah.
Lifting off, he knows that this could get a bit tasty between the Belgians.
Either that or...
The other
BMW.
Belgians.
Yeah, either that or he knows that the BMW's got a bit of a fuel number. Crash here for Bob Boland, who was in the thick of it earlier. He's slow now in the gold racing car, car 26.
I think he's suffering with the car after the damage. I mean, I know it's easy to say, isn't it? Let's have a look. Les Motsu, big bit of curb. It's up, Pogo's over the curb a little bit. Oh, he did well to keep that properly out of the wall. He only clipped it.
Daniel McCauley very nearly ran into the back of him then.
You can see that behind them, Van Outven's got past Hessels as well. Here is the battle again, Dowman and Van den Egten. And up the inside goes Dowman.
And this time...
Always a bit deep on the brakes, but I think he's going to have it unless Van den Egten can get the slipstream and yeah, get through there, but maybe not close enough this time, I don't know.
Running over the grass a little bit there was Bart Dowman, driving for Nomad Sim Racing, racing the World GT Championship, which you can see on a Monday night on this channel. Best run through then. I'm intrigued to see what Stijn van Wel's going to do because, no, Van Buel I should say, because he has been lifting off. It could be just because he doesn't want to get involved. You can see the orange mirrors there, or because the BMW could be trying to stretch its tank out for a little bit. Because of course in this race we do have a mandatory pit stop, and we won't be too far away from starting.
Oh, Boland! Boland's gone. I think that's the end of him this time.
Replay.
And what's happened to Bod here? Turns into the Rosia. No dramas here. Oh, he's had enough, I think. I actually don't blame him, given the state of his car. It's not helping him. He's down in 20th place.
Such an aerodynamically dependent circuit, Monza, where if you're nowhere down the straight and trying to make up time in the corners, then it's not much fun.
It's awful though. There's nothing worse. Yeah, there's nothing worse than having a ill-handling car, and even one that you can't control its failings like the aerodynamics. Like Le Mans exactly.
Yeah, we were lucky at Le Mans as battle for third place continues. Van den Egten up the inside of.
Oh, terrific battle.
Yeah.
It's not helping them catch the front two though, is it?
No, it isn't, and the gap is about 2.5 seconds to Rankics ranks, I should say, in second. Here comes Dowman, the Mercedes, the grill is about to eat our camera. No, he's stuck into the outside, going into the Della Roggia, but it's going to be Van den Egten latest on the brakes.
I think the message coming from the commentary box in this race is we apologise for the people of Belgium, to the people of Belgium for our bad pronunciations.
This wasn't a module on my journalism degree.
On the inside, and that's Kuto. Oh, that's Sherman's into the wall, and that's Andrew Hopley. He hopped over the curb and onto Sherman's.
They continue. Looks like the Tech Pro barrier didn't do any damage whatsoever to Nick Sherman's car, apart from a damage in position number.
Lucky them.
As they've just been passed by Jeremy Hessels. Dutchman.
Yes, not too many Dutchmen in this field, I think just a couple. Doing a good job, Hessels, in 7th in the silver class. Alvarez now leads the silver class, is in P9. He's lost 1 position since the race has started, Arturo Alvarez, but he's minding his own business and is only half a second behind the Mercedes there that you can see of Ian Roots.
Alvarez's first race of the season, he'll be hoping to get his first points on the board, I should say, of the season. Picked up 0 in the first 2 race meetings of the season, which took place at Silverstone and Daytona. Next week, expect the Belgians to be out in force because we are going to Belgium for Zolder.
Ah, yes. All the Belgians, there'll be plenty of them there, no doubt. Good circuit, Zolder. Oh, late on the brakes for the Ferrari, and he nearly clatters into Roy Verwerke. That was Dupin, Anton Dupin. Nearly gave some pan to Verwerke there.
Oh dear, Nick Sherman's... yeah, he's a series admin in this, Anton.
Oh, no wonder he's doing so well.
2 cars have just towed... Nick Sherman's has towed back to the pits, so problem there for the Sim Racers World cast. Nick Sherman's...
Woodburn as well.
He was the leader in the Pro-Am Champion, in the Silver Championship coming into this race meeting.
I think Science might be out as well, Alberto Science.
Problems about. Nick Sherman's, though, he only took 30 seconds for him to tow back, and it looks like he might be getting a 30-second stop, I should say, and he's back out again. Oh, just a pit stop. I did wonder why the car looks so clean. So we have got some pit stops that are underway here. We are 21 minutes into this one.
I think Tice and Kokan potentially in the pits, are they? Van Outven, I think, might be in as well.
Here comes Van Buel versus... oh, here is...
oh no, Kokan's off. That's why he's dropping down the order.
The Swede. The only Audi in the field as well. I believe Audi aren't in DTM this year. It's just on an off-topic note. I think it's just Mercedes, BMW that's competing in it. But
no, there's another one, isn't there?
Is it not?
Let's have a look. I'll have a little look while you're doing that.
But yeah,
I know Aston Martin are going into it.
And I'm looking as well. That's bad by me. Kermit Claes in the Dynamo Racing car is starting to apply the pressure here on Anton Dupin, who we were just looking at a moment ago. Ferrari versus BMW, and the Ferrari, you can just see there, it gets the legs down the last third of the straight, and by the time that Claes thinks about having a move, the Ferrari's just got that extra tenth needed.
Oh, good exit by the beam. Oh my word, there's a guy in the background.
The gap nearly got negated then when the Ferrari made a right mess of the second part of the Della Roggia. It's Aston Martin, Audi and BMW that's going to be in Formula DTM this year. There we go.
So so BMW and Audi, and then 2020 Aston Martin, they're saying.
So I got it the wrong way around. It's Merc that have gone, not Audi.
So it is Merc that have gone. I don't know why they've gone though.
For Formula E, I believe, for next year.
It's a bit bloody stupid, isn't it? To me, it is anyway. The touring car series, your home touring car series, is, in my opinion, more important than something like that. But who knows? We'll see. Nothing against Formula E. I do like it, but the DTM is, it's quite a very traditional championship. Anyway, Macaulay, Dupin, and Claes. I think that is in 16th place.
It is. This is a fight for potential fight for the final spot on the podium in the silver class here.
Claes has a BMW that's well and truly in one piece with no, shall we say, aerodynamic alterations.
I know the issues with the rear wing pretty well.
I think Fernando Couto might have crashed here. I don't know if he's crashed or he's in the pits. He's had a problem because he's been passed by Moretta. Oh no, actually they've just swapped positions over, I think, quite a few times.
Oh, as Frank's lost these off, and he's lost the lead. Dettich through, or did he? Yeah, he has. So yeah, Dettich lead, Frankic second. Van Genexen remains in third. This is through the first Lesmo, a replay. Doesn't do what Lewis Hamilton did there in 2009 at second Lesmo. Goes over the inside curb.
Oh, he did well to keep that in a straight line, didn't he?
Mm.
So Van Genegten as well, after he dropped Bart Douwman and Stijn van Buol, has caught up hand over fist to these two. And now, as you can see, just car's length, sorry, behind Gregory Vranckx.
Wonder when we'll see anybody dive for the pit lane in the gold class. Haven't seen too many. Over the line we go. Here comes Van Genegten then. Is now time for the atomic car to strike. Going into the first corner, into the Rettifilio, hard on the brakes, and Gregory Vranckx. Decides to let him have it really by the time we get into the braking point, and the atomic car through into second.
Yeah, no fallout there.
Oh, very good. He's yeah, I'll get back to you.
He's up and at them. That's what he is. He's up and at them. Anyway,
my eyes, the goggles do nothing. Through the trees they go. Here is Fernando Couto again. He's just been passed by Graus and Moretta. Don't know how Morata is getting on in the.
Oh, there he goes. Huh?
Well, that's the only link I could do. But into the Della Roggia we could go. Chris Moretta is hoping he can defend better. Got another atomic car behind in Graus. Macaulay cuts the chicane, and that's going to allow Verke through, Dupin through, Lace through, and all of a sudden Daniel Macaulay, who was sitting second in the silver class, has now gone down to fifth. Wonder if the damage might be starting to take its toll.
He's hanging in well though, isn't he, really, in the BMW?
Van Genegten's dropping down the order. Oh, sorry, no, I don't think he is anyway.
No, I think the timing screen's just going a bit crazy. I think it's because maybe some cars have come into the pits. I think it's shuffled everybody around a little bit.
Yeah, Lee Woodburn and the Excite Racing car here sat in 20th place. Here is Bart Douwman though, the Nomad Sim Racing car. Car number 1 is in. Van Genegten puts in the fastest lap of the race, 46.5. He's on it. He's lit the fuse in that atomic car.
Oh, very good. I don't know if you have fuses for those things, but you know, it is a thing. Dettige in the lead.
Let us know in the YouTube chat.
Yes, let us know in the comments, exactly. Dettige in the lead. Just one position gain from where he started, but when you start second, that's the aim. And Van Genegten, though, has been on fire. 146.5, as you said, Adam. Fastest lap of the race. Chris Moretta's had a problem, I think. And potentially so did the man next to him, Couto.
Two going wheel to wheel anyway, going through Curva Grande. Peter Graus in the Atomic Motorsports car has been able to dispose of both of them. That's where Hill and Schumacher collided in 95. No such issues this time. However, it could get a bit interesting on the exits, especially if Couto has a line as bad as that, as he overshot the first part of the Della Roggia. Up the inside goes a CMR eSports car. No way through there. There's no grip out there, Couto. And it's going to allow Moretta to take the position as somebody goes very wide in the background. It was Claes. Approaching the halfway mark then in this one. Round 3 of the Sim Racers World GT Series. Bart Douwman is, there he is, in 27th place. Oh, he's gone, that's what's happened. He's out. I thought it was just my timing playing up, but the Nomad Sim Racing car coming into the pits. All seems well here, and disconnection could be all sorts of issues. He pulls in, and I wonder if that could be him done for the day. He's definitely not back out on the circuit, that's for sure.
Has he just quit? Who knows? Who knows? Wow. So Dettige leads then.
It's elevated Van Buol up a place anyway, because Douwman was running in about 3rd or 4th place when that happened.
Fairly high casualty rate, actually. We've already lost... Well, we've realistically lost about 12 cars off of the lead lap and off of the running. But retirement's only about 3, I think. But realistically, there's a lot of cars out. There's one car going round, still going around the circuit. It's only completed 6 laps. because of problems in the pits and problems with damage. Van Genekten,
yes,
he's had no such problems, has he?
He's starting to slowly drag Matthias Dettig into the epicenter of his Atomic Motorsports car. Into the Ascari chicane he goes, and he's been on it for the last few laps. He set a purple sector 1 on this lap, and Dettig, he was all over the place going through the Della Roggia, and wonder if this might be a lap where Dettig might think about coming into the pits so that he can get some new boots on. And
the difficulty is with that, is that the lap times are falling. So the cars are getting quicker around here, so the tyres are not taking the punishment that you would have thought. That, I mean, Monza is always a track where, bizarrely for a course with a lot of acceleration zones, a fair few slow speed corners, don't really get much tyre wear at all, which I'm always quite surprised by. You see the track temperature out there, 24 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
Sorry, 32 degrees Celsius, sorry, 24 degrees air temperature.
Partly cloudy. Don't think they've been caused by any of the Atomic Motorsport cars, but carry on.
No, they'd be mushroom shaped, wouldn't they? Van Genekten is 46.8 he did on the last lap, so I mean he's still banging in the good lap times, as is Dettig. Everybody's really getting towards their personal best. Couto and Moretta coming to blows again. What is this? Is this a big late move by Fernando Couto of Spain round the outside? And I'll tell you what, if he gets this one done, it'll be very impressive indeed. Oh, and he nearly did. Good effort.
Not much you could do about that. Oh, he got sick. That's what's happened.
Oh, God.
So poor Bart Delman.
It's unlucky.
Well, at least he wasn't Mark Webber when he threw up in his helmet. Well, at least I hope not, anyway. Yeah, poor Bart Delman.
It makes you wonder if he uses, for instance, VR, and wonder if it's like motion sickness or something. That's what he'll have to let us know, I guess.
Dettig is definitely getting sick of seeing that Atomic Motorsports car behind. That's not a play on radiation sickness or anything. Over the line we go on to lap 20. On to lap 19 now, and you can see Van Genekten wasn't much quicker, was actually slow on that last lap, but Dettig, I did see in the Della Roggia on the previous tour, did once again miss the apex of the initial entry. We'll see if the same happens this time, but Franks is on the prowl again, and Van Genekten is going to have to start looking in the mirrors because Dettig's teammate is starting to apply the pressure in what is quickly becoming a Simracersworld sandwich.
Yeah, because of course he was in front earlier on, so in theory he's the one with more pace than Dettig. Van Buel's doing a good job to stick roughly within, what is he, 3 seconds? He's 3 seconds behind, but I mean, he'll hope for a battle between these three, won't he?
He was quickest in practice, so he showed us that he's got the pace there. Franks was quickest in sectors, set of the new purple, fastest sector in sector 4. Here is the man of the moment. He's keeping us on the edge of our seats. It's Fernando Couto.
Well, Moretta's not giving up here either. Chris Moretta, British driver, CMR Esports car, versus the man from Spain. And Anton Dupin is just behind them as well, having a decent run in the Ferrari. He's the second highest Ferrari, I believe, in the field.
And the second highest silver car as we go under the old banking. Tony McCauley in third in the silver class. Isn't too far behind him either as we go through the Ascari chicane again. Battle for the front continues to be very close, just 2 tenths of a second between all three of them as we come across the timing line onto lap 20. 34 minutes have elapsed and still no sign of any of these three coming into the pit. Still no sign of many of the gold cars coming in. Ben Mears has been in a 56-second stop for him. Luke Thies, our bronze leader, has been in a 95-second stop for him. too many other cars coming in. I think Roy Ververke has been in his Automech Not Kill car as well. He's dropped down to 23rd place. So a few cars have come in so far. See if they can gain any position back once the cars in front come in.
Yeah, I think that could be a smart thing to do. Just wait, bide your time, get the strategy right. I mean, we know a lot of things can go wrong in the pits. I mean, we saw it in the Rickmatech World Challenge the other night as well. A couple of drivers getting speeding penalties. So, you know, got to take the risk out of the pit stop. Still some personal best sectors going in. Still some people putting in some very good lap times out there. And look at this. Japan and Moretta. A bit of a ding-dong again. Just allowing Kuto to escape. Macaulay's back in business as well.
I hope this battle continues after we get the pit stops out of the way, because this is one fight that we haven't been able to take our eyes off really, apart from we've been looking at the battle at the front. Moretta has gained 5 places, starting the gold class car in the CMR Esports car. Dupin behind him has gained 6 in the silver class, and a little bit away up the road, Peter Growls has gained 10 places to start. We've got to find too many cars that have gained more places than that in the top 2 classes anyway. Going into the Parabolica then, see if the Ferrari can use its straight line speed advantage now. Car 243, they're riding on board with it. 3rd gear, running out wide to the concrete runoff area on the exit, bit of AstroTurf as well. You can see that Daniel Macaulay, who's behind Dupin, has made a beeline for the pits. Just
picking up a good slipstream now, sorry mate, but he's only going to gain like a 10th and a half. In fact, he's lifting off, so that if he does mess up his braking, he doesn't run into the back of the Mercedes.
1st gear in the Pretifiglio as well.
I look good though, I look very good indeed. Oh, he might have a chance into the Roger.
Rico Grande shifts up to 5th the moment the LED lights above the dashboard go into the red.
And he's lifting again. Is he fuel saving? Is he fuel saving? Dupin. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to do. He's even looking for a move here though. Certain he is. It really does illustrate as well just how little you can see when you're tucked up behind the Mercedes. It's such a big beastie.
Definitely is. Ooh, not like the very low down BMW.
Hasn't liked the second Lesmo, has it though, the Mercedes today?
We're seeing traits for more free. Of course the Ferrari loves the straights. The Mercedes has had a few issues. BMW obviously hoping to gain as much time as it can in the corners, and some have been able to drive better than others. Here's the front 3 again. 23 minutes to go here, and these guys have still got to make a mandatory pit stop, so we'll have to wait and see when they come in. At least I think they do anyway.
Yeah, they will have to come in surely.
Rest of the calendar.
But I think they're just waiting as long as possible though, because the tyres aren't a factor. They're just waiting so they can put the least possible fuel in, I think.
Probably right. That's what everybody else is thinking. Meanwhile, Moretta versus Kuto again. Oh, just about makes the second part of the...
Nearly every lap.
Yeah, the Pretifiglio, and now
it's Dupin.
Yes. Careful now. Gold v Silver. Silver in the middle here with Dupin, but surely Kuto might fancy a chance up the inside. He's going to try and get both of them here.
Oh, it was good to back out of that, because certain disaster I think that would have been if he'd have stuck his nose in there. Maybe for all of them, and maybe actually for Claes as well behind. Kobe Claes.
Kobe Claes, I'd say he'll be pretty eager if I was him to try and get involved with these. Oh my goodness me, Dupin very nearly went. Going through the exit of the second
Lesmo. I tell you, people take the mickey with the outside, don't they? But how many times have we seen it bite people? I don't even bother going out there.
It's bitten me before, but that's because I've been walloping the inside curb and then
That's because you've been driving a BMW, though, and you've needed to do that.
Yeah.
Here's Claes then, right with Dupin. Tables are turning on Dupin at the moment.
He's gone from trying to get it up and try and gate crash the gold party, and now he's fighting another silver car here in place. Fortunately for him, he's got this front straight though, and you'd hope that it'd be shades of the Seat TDI and he'll just slowly edge away. But we'll wait and see. Here comes Claes.
Oh, this looks good. Oh, he's right on him, look.
Face full of diffuser there.
Almost looking right into the very innards of the Ferrari. Hard on the brakes, and both of them very late, yeah. Dupin's done that pretty much every lap. He's really got that down to an art in that first chicane. He gets a tremendous exit off there. I think he has to have a look at Couto. I think he has to. I don't see why really he's not almost trying to pass Couto. There is a lapped car here. Oh my goodness me.
Steve DeWolf. Dynamic Racing.
Oh, look out. Oh, that was close.
Gets out of the way, fortunately. Looks like he's just about in control of that. You can see from the timing tower that our bronze leader is now seeing a Coquin in the Sim Racers World car. He's yet to come into the pits though.
Yeah, that'll be why. But it's good to see him at the front. Lee Woodburn's just behind him, actually. That is the battle for the lead at the moment. Van Outven, actually, has been in the pits. And he's right there in the bright yellow car.
It says on my time screen he's been in 3 times, which I don't class as true. But Van Outven is, right with them. Sorry, it's not him that's been classed as coming into the pits 3 times. It's Woodburn, for some reason it says that on my timing screen. Pink 2 cars, the front 2 and the bronze have all got pink rims. Just pointing that out. Arcan with the pink wheels, so too Lee Woodburn. You can see from the gravel trap a lot of cars have pinned through on the exit of the first Lesmo as we go through the second Lesmo now, where you can see the same on the exit. Couto's into the pits, so too Garcia, and a few others as well potentially as we slowly start to get towards the end of the race, but no sign of movement from the top 9 cars at least. They're all seeming to stay out.
See what the stop is like for Couto. Fastest stop so far looks like it was 13.95, and that was for Javier Garcia.
Slightly longer one, this one.
Oh yeah.
20. Oh, it's still going.
Too long this for Couto, isn't it?
It's revving and away he goes. 27.98 for Fernando Couto.
Seems like quite a long time, to be honest, for what? Must be tyres as well there, really. Must be.
Going to be joined just behind a bit of a manic group of silver cars. Yeah, that's Dupin that's gone through.
There's the Audi of Coquin. So Van Outven is back in P2 in the bronze, and he's a pit stop ahead of Coquin. So he's already made his stop. He might be able to overtake Coquin and get a free pit stop. Now, Van Buel's in the pits in the BMW.
Claes goes through ahead, and this is really going to be interesting to see now in terms of how long Van Buel's pit stop's going to be, and where he's going to rejoin once everybody else follows him around. We did see Van Buel lifting and coasting a little bit. Whether that was just because he didn't want to get involved in a battle or that he was fuel saving, we'll wait and see. Very quick stop.
It's Garcia coming to the pits again.
It says on my timing screen he's been in 6 times, but I'll believe that when I see it.
2 on mine, but
yeah.
No, he hasn't. It's just unless he was maybe fighting someone so close to the line that the game thought he was coming into the pits. I have no idea. Anyway.
Van Buel's pit stop time, I don't buy it.
Oh, it says there's been a crash for Hessels. Jeremy Hessels, is that right?
He's currently still circulating in 12th, I believe.
That might just be a bit of a timing error then.
Unless he got on the brake so hard for the first corner that the game thought he crashed. But
Kokan's in the pits. Ben Mears is in the pits as well. Luke Tice is in the pits. Look at this from Woodburn and Donald Moons.
Our leaders are in. It's the two Sim Racers World cars coming in together. It's
They didn't coordinate that whatsoever, did they?
Ranks. Did they not? Into the pits go. And we'll wait and see what Van Genexen can do. He's going to have to turn it up.
Well, this is going to be interesting to see This is going to be... Oh, the wrong box for Kokan, was it? Or was he... I think he might have been in the wrong box. Never mind.
A lot of gold cars in. You can see Roots, Alvarez, Growls, Moretta go through the Porsche. It's fine.
Good stop by Franks. 2.5 seconds quicker than Detige.
Yeah,
Detige was a 16.7. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just reading them out as well. Where's Van Buell in all this then? There he is across the timing line. He's a bit of a way behind.
It's going to be close-ish, isn't he, Van Buell? But not
seconds.
Not very.
Green. Yeah.
How many seconds?
6.
Oh yeah.
Now it's all going to be about Van Genexen. He's just coming into the Ascari chicane now. He's got a bit of bronze and silver traffic around him, judging from the mini-map on the side of your screen. Looks like it's not going to cause him too many issues. You can see there he's got past Luke Peace in the Dynamo racing car.
Looks like Mears in the Ultimate Knockhill in front of him.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder, if I was Van Genexen, I might just get in the pits now while I... Yeah, I think he is doing, surely. Yeah. He is indeed. Hammers it down to the line on the limiter, just where the cones are. Make sure you get under that pit lane speed limit. Now you chug all the way down to the fourth pit stall from the end of the lane. Can he get in it perfectly? This is the key.
Is number 3 on the mini-map, so they're just coming into Parabolica now.
Well, this is going to have to be a hell of a stop by Van Genexen, isn't it, to get out in front? So he needs to be going now. He is going now. This is going to be close on him.
Indeed it is. Ranks is just coming over the timing line.
Oh!
Now, where are they? There they are.
It's not going to be that close.
Going to get them both. What a roll of the dice there by Van Genexen. Must have put in a belter of a lap, and he's been able to rejoin in the lead. A stop that was 2 seconds quicker than Franks and 4 seconds quicker than Detige, and that could have made all the difference. And
that was an astonishing
4.6 seconds. Yeah,
astonishing pit stop. Quickest of pretty much anybody. There was an 11.8 actually for Ben Mears, but that is the quickest. That's the second quickest time of the race by Van Genexen. That was important. Very well done in the pits by Atomic Motorsport. Done a good job there. Roy Ververke then, is he in the pits? I hope he's in the pits. I hope he's not out of the race. I think he's in the pits.
And 19th place. Doesn't look like he's being shown as off on the timing screen. He's still circulating.
My timing screen is going a bit funny.
Here he is.
I'll restart that, I think.
He has got just in front of him Andrew Hopley in the CMR Esports car, and then after that it is Fernando Couto, we were talking about earlier on, and we can give you a rundown of the top 5 in each class now with all of the pit stops done with 12 minutes to go. It's Van Genexen leading, Frank second, Detige in third, fourth is Van Buell, and fifth place. That's the running order in the goals. As Couto comes under pressure here from Hopley. Hopley being a little bit of the way down in the silver class, but these two going at it now into the second. Lesmo. So Hopley's going to get it done just about, but surely that damage isn't going to serve him well down the back straight here. And what's Roy Ververke going to do in all this? Into your Ascari chicane we go.
I don't know actually, because I had to restart the timing screen. 2 seconds. Yeah, here we go. So Kuto. Oh, some close calls like that, haven't there? People chopping across. Kuto with very little damage, if any, versus the BMW with a bit of a mashed front end. See if Kuto goes up the inside into Parabolica, the gold car on the silver car. Oh my word, that's very, very close indeed. Fernando Kuto. This is going to be a good drag race here, because here comes the Roy Ververke, as I nearly said there.
Mika Hakkinen. Always used to call Schumacher the Michael, didn't he, or something like that?
The Michael, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't do that. 10 minutes to go. And it's we didn't really finish one. The silver running order is.
Wait a minute, Detige. What's happened to Detige?
He's in 3rd place.
Oh no, he's fine. It's my timing. I'm sorry.
No, don't worry.
Timing is going all over the shop.
Yeah, I'm getting the same thing. I'm just having to look at the graphics on the overlay. They're the ones that are telling the truth.
Yes.
On to lap 29, Detige and Vrankt are in a squabble between themselves now, because Van Genexten is checked out at the front. No surprise why Van Genexten's at the top of the timing screen. Not just that, he's also top of the championship standings. Picked up 25 points in both of the opening rounds, which surely implies that he won both. And he's masterminded the strategy again to great effect here. Doesn't matter where you start the race, but as long as you finish it in the #1 position, and everything's going fine. And with 9 minutes to go, not too many laps, because it is one of the longest laps on this calendar this year. Everything is looking good for the Atomic Motorsports car, with Stein van Buell, who we're looking at here, 9/10 of a second away from Javier Garcia in the VRO car, and has been lapping quicker. So fights between these two could be about to heat up in the final few moments of this one.
Now Van Buell did start on pole, but it's always going to be difficult when in a car like the BMW, when you just got a little bit of a deficit. Straight line speed. Garcia going extremely well out there. Unfortunately, I have lost all the pit stop times now, so can't really see any of that information, sadly. But
I'm going to take mine with a pinch of salt as well. Got some drivers down as having stopped 11 times.
yeah.
Here it was. Vrancksen coming through the Parabolica. Started on the pole, I think, -1 place.
Do you think these two are going to have a scrap at some point then? Given the fact that they're in 2nd and 3rd, do you think they are going to try and battle it out for the individual points, or?
Well, looking at the championship standings, Vranckx is 2nd in it. He's picked up 16 points in round 1, 20 in round 2. But Detige, on the other hand, has picked up 12 in both races, and I'm sure he might want to get a few points on the board. So we'll wait and see with this one. It's all been very civil between the two of the most immaculate cars you'll probably see in the whole field. Neither of them a bit, well, I say that, looking at the front of Detige, I think it's a bit out of place, a little bit. But yeah, they're both doing pretty well, and they haven't got anybody for company. Look, the gap's 9 seconds back to Javier Garcia in 4th, so it's not as if they're going to have to worry about any pending attack from him in the closing stages. So I think they can afford to do it. Here is one battle, though, that is currently ongoing. It's between Jeremy Hessels and Kobe Claes. This is over 5th place in the 4th place in the silver class.
Yeah, that's good from Hessels. Just to stay in front through the Rettifilio. So often you take the place into there and then lose it so quickly again. BMW does have good slipstreaming capabilities, though. Claes is showing that. Just pulls slightly out to the right-hand side. Just about 6 inches or so, just so we can get a bit better view of the corner.
You probably wonder why there's so many BMWs racing in this field, because of it being so straight-line natured. But obviously, this series, you'd be expecting it to be one car for the whole season. And when you look at the calendar, probably see some of these tracks at being BMW circuits. We go to Zolder next week. Definitely not a power circuit at all.
I think that's a BMW circuit.
Yeah, Bathurst after that, then the Glen, and Sebring, then the Nürburgring, Road America, Brands Hatch, Suzuka, and then we go to
wide
season.
A little bit wide for Hessels. Into Ascari, just went a little bit too deep. But yeah, I think Sebring's certainly not a power circuit, in my opinion. Oh, here we go, up the inside into Parabolica. Oh, that was super close, wasn't it? Clay's just putting his nose in there. Now, what's he going to do? Hessels, is he going to defend the inside line? Over to the white line he goes. I think respectfully, Clays doesn't go any further over. Into the braking zone. How late can they be?
Don't
so about
move
100.
Oh, yeah.
Thought he was going to just drift a bit. Oh, very deep into the corner for Hessels. Made it work well, though. Made it work very well, actually. Great exit, too.
Good job there. Good defensive driving. Can see that Van Altven in the bronze leader is...
Is there a move for second place, or have I? Is that the timing screen? Not second place. Sorry, fourth place. Was there a move there, or was that just me?
The gap is half a second, so it's getting there. There it is.
Yeah, I cannot trust this timing at the moment.
4 minutes to go. It's a 1 minute 46 laps, so you reckon we won't have too many more laps around here. But here is Mini Rossi, at least what it says on the back of his Mercedes. And if it's a Mini Rossi, what's the Mini Doctor going to prescribe here to get him a 4th place? With Van Buel, time to close in.
Let's have a look then. As Van Buel, who to me has driven a good race, really. And of course, he wasn't on pole, was he? That's my timing screen being silly. Yet again, of course, he wasn't on pole. He was 3rd or 4th or something in qualifying with Stijn Van Buel. Arturo Alvarez is going along decently as well in 8th place. We've got to show him because he's leading the silver category. He's got a lead of, it's about 8 seconds over Anton Dupin.
Here is Roy Ververke, who has been in the thick of the action, fighting away with Nick Sherman.
Oh, he's moving across. Nearly Max Verstappen him there.
For Bruno in a World Touring Car race, Augusto Farfus moving across on Andy Brio, his teammate, and taking about half the field with him at the start of a race.
I'm Googling that.
John Clennon had plenty to say on that.
Something to do with the man's an animal.
Along those lines, I think it's something like, that was a piece of stupid driving, or something.
Sounds like John Watson.
The only accent I can do. 2 minutes to go. And the leaders have just crossed the line now, which means we'll get 2 more laps of this, you believe anyway. I think even my maths can work that out. So on to the penultimate lap, but this battle...
Oh dear, I've just seen it. Oh, that was a stupid one, dear me. I've just had a little look at that.
Oh.
That was that was into the first corner as well. That was a mess. So here we go. Hopley, Ververke. Oh, Hopley's done well there. He's done really well. Of course, he's fighting back, isn't he, from early mistake. He's not close enough into Parabolica, though. To be a turn 1 job here, because he's only going to get 1 chance in turn 1. As we are...
They'll be starting the penultimate lap here, I think.
Yeah, I think they're going to make it, aren't they, for 1 more?
Yeah. Our leader is Varangton is just going into. Next. Yeah, this is pretty close.
He's going to go for it. Yes. On the inside, is he going to take out the back? Oh no, the other one does. Ververke was the one who actually braked at the right point, and Yeah, he wasn't the one who took out the Mercedes. I don't know who the Mercedes was. I think Sousa, was it?
Sergio Sousa, who had a big crash on the opening lap of the race. He was one of the cars involved in that melee on the exit of Ascari.
Yeah, who, in fairness to the other guys, he was actually quite a way down, so it hasn't ruined really a race of a main contender, but oh dear. Now, are we going to get... I think we are. Van Genegten just started the final lap with 10 seconds or 15 seconds or so to go. Slightly slower lap for him, but he's not in danger. He just needs to bring it to the end if he needs to drive it well. Look how immaculate that Mercedes looks of Van Genegten.
Motorsports car doing well and been doing well so far this season, and it looks like this race is going to be no exception. Timed the strategy pretty well, and it means now that Gregory Vranckx and Matthias Dettig are going to be finishing second and third. No way is Javier Garcia going to trouble these two for the end of the race. It looks like Stijn van Buol, as much as he's trying, and he's been lapping a few tenths of a second quicker each lap. It's the straights that seem to be giving Javier Garcia, the necessary gap that he needs to. Oh goodness me!
It's going to be close, that, isn't it? At the end,
yeah.
Definitely is. But this is Ververke again, and Hopley, round 3 or 4 maybe. Just going to have time to see what transpires here into the Rettifilio as Van Genegten is coming through Ascari. So we'll just see this very quickly. Side by side. Oh, it was a bit after you, wasn't it, that? As, yeah, Van Genegten then into the final corner, Adam.
Here he comes. He's picked up maximum points at round. He picks up maximum points at round 1 at Silverstone, and did the same last week at Daytona. And he's going to pick up maximum points here again. He started 4th on the grid. He's going to come through to win the race here at Monza. Here, Van Genegten for Atomic Motorsport wins in the Sim Racers World GT Series at Monza. Second and third for the 2 Sim Racers World cars of Gregory Vranckx and Matthias Dettig. And then Javier Garcia is going to hold off the advances of Stijn van Buol. Finish in 4th with Van Buol in 5th, and then the top 10 rounded up by Steve Claes, Ian Root, Alvarez, Woody.
Well, yeah, sorry, here comes Alvarez. Arturo Alonso Alvarez comes through the final corner. He's going to take victory in the silver class, Adam, and doing it for BMW as well.
There we go. Show the national anthem out on the podium there.
And the Spanish one as well. And here comes Van Alphen as another Belgian winner, and another Mercedes going to be on top of the podium in bronze.
Over the line he goes, takes the checker flag there. Van Alphen, top of the championship in the bronze category going into this one. Only picked up 10 points at Daytona last week, but he's going to pick up maximum points here again and take the victory there, with Thies coming home in 2nd, and thirdly Woodburn 4th, Pedro Regancha, and then Senna Kokan finishing in 5th place in that class. A few other cars circulating, I believe. We haven't officially finished the session yet. Just working out who is still circulating on the circuit. Actually, is the cars come around to take the checker flag. Let's see, but Craig Alpha leads anyway. Here is Ben Mears. He might be the last
one.
I think he's the last one we're waiting for in the Ultimate Not Kill car. Another Belgian.
He's going to get a fairly solid result, actually. Out of 39 who started, he's going to finish 21st. So not too bad for him. I think he'll have been hoping for more, but still, anytime you get to the end of an endurance race, it's still very much a success. Mace comes over in 21st place, and that will then give us the final results, which should be on the screen any second now. Here we go then. Here, Van Genegten with the win, 3 seconds ahead of Gregory Vranckx and Matthias Dettig, 2 Sim Racers World cars giving chase till the very end. Javier Garcia in 4th place for VRO, and Stijn van Buol for Buol Racing in 5th. Steve Claes in the Ferrari and the Learn to Race car Then Ian Roots of Sim Racers World, Arturo Alvarez winning the silver class for VRO. And then Peter Grauwels of Netherlands for Atomic Motorsport, and Chris Moretta in 10th for CMR Esports. Anton Dupin with the Sim Racers World car in 11th. CQR Club's Dan McCauley in 12th. Jeremy Hessel's Privateer in 13th. 14th, Kobe Claes for Dynamo Racing. Ram van Alphen winning bronze as a Privateer. And Nick Sherman's Sim Racers World. Andrew Hopley, CMR Esports. And Roy Verke for Automech Knock Hill in 18th place. 19th was the VRO of Alberto Sáenz, and then Fernando Couto in 20th. Ben Mears in 21st. Luke Tice in 22nd. Ronald Moons 23rd. Lee Woodburn for Excite Racing 24th. 25th, Pedro Braganza. Sanad Kokan in 26th for Sim Racers World again. Ben Taines in 27th. Stephen DeWolf 28th. John McConville 29th. 30th, Jochen Lennartz. Thijs Berger in 31st. Dries Moosdy in 32nd. Sergio Sousa in 33rd. Stuart Musselwhite in 34th. Bart Dowman 35th. Bob Boland in 36th place. And then in 37th place is Ruben van Buell. Then the Sim Auto car of Lee Diemer was one of the first ones out. And the very first one out was Israel Marin.
Thank you very much. All right, we do have a few drivers waiting to speak to us. We've got, I believe that is Ian Roots in the interview room. Anyway, we've got Daniel McCauley and we've got Steve Clace as well. So, take your pick, I think, for this one. And we'll go with Daniel McCauley, I think, first. Has had a bit of action in the CQR car anyway, and he joins us now in the interview room. Danny McCauley driving for CQR Club, 12th place finish today, and a bit of action for you in the BMW as well. Tell us about your race.
Well, a bit of action, but for all the wrong reasons, I think.
Oh yeah, we did see what happened to you down at Lesmo too.
Oh, let's not talk about that one. It was a bit of a surprise in where the pace ended up and how I managed to finish 12th because of the amount of incidents I had. But the car seemed really good at the start. I think I went a bit too aggressive on the setup though, because about 15-20 minutes into the race it just started to fall away, and then as a result of overdriving and panicking a little bit, just made too many mistakes and started to drop back through the field.
I think the main one in question, obviously the one at Lesmo too. I understood what you were trying to do, definitely trying to keep it on there, but in the end it was just too much for the BMW to handle, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. So as I went wide, Ben think he was a lap down, and I seen he was catch me, so I tried to stay left a bit more than what I would have normally.
Yeah,
and just as I went to rejoin, he was still coming, and as it's completely in his right too, and I jinked left and just lost it completely. It's my own fault and I just got to take on the chin, but I'm just glad I didn't ruin anyone else's race while I did it.
So we didn't see that, did we, Adam, on the pictures? We were on board, weren't we?
I didn't see that.
Yes,
we didn't see the other car, yeah. So yeah, that would explain it.
He wasn't really, coming that quickly, but I didn't want to influence his race by unsafe rejoining right in front of him. I'm the first critic of anyone unsafe rejoining, so I thought I'd better not do it myself.
Hey, but in the end, 12th wasn't that bad, and I guess still pretty high in the silver category.
I'll take that, considering the amount of mistakes I had at the end after I took the early pit stop to try and catch Anton and Chris Moretta to see if I could undercut that battle, and I just made a few mistakes, passing some back markers, caught the rear on the grass, cut the chicane, and yeah, a bit of a nightmare, but I'm still happy to finish 12th, third in silver I think, so hopefully that climbs me back up the points a little bit after the nightmare I had at Daytona as well.
I think you can argue with that with BMW at Monza as well. Next week, though, it's Zolder. We were saying on air that it's the track that should suit the BMW right down to a T. Would you agree?
Yeah, I definitely think so. At the first round, it was really fast at Silverstone, especially through the last sector, which is tight and twisty, and the whole was Zolder's tight and twisty. So I'll get practicing, try and find a bit more of a balanced setup to last the whole race, and hopefully get back up into the top 3.
just quickly before we let you go on an unrelated topic, are you doing the 24-hour kart race at Milton Keynes in a few months?
I absolutely wish I was, but
Right.
I was too late entering.
Oh, Dan, you've missed out on the chance to crash into Adam Bath.
No.
I'm gutted that I missed it. We all went. Me, Alex, Josh, and a few of the other Apex boys all went karting at Autosport the other day, and that was a proper laugh. So I'm definitely getting involved in the next one.
Yeah, I heard
Alex
from,
said he was in pain, didn't he?
Yeah, I heard from Kevin Ellis Jr. about that race. Yeah, Dan, before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anybody?
Just all the CQR boys for the help over the last few weeks, especially through World GT and through this. They're really trying to push me up to the next level, and I'm kind of more grateful than a show for that. Thanks to you guys for the broadcast. Thanks to Ian and the rest of the Simracersworld admin team for putting on such a great event.
You're probably in the right team. Prove your join with CQR, and yeah, thanks for taking the time to come and speak to us. And yeah, hopefully we can chat to you again next week as well.
Yep, thanks for having me. Catch you guys later.
Cheers, mate. Dan McCauley there, who yeah, be pretty happy I think in the end with how that went, Adam. And you know, like I say, after a fairly sizable crash, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it really came away from it with not too much damage there. So, and as he said, yeah, with it being a BMW, a circuit definitely does not suit the BMWs. A place high up in the silver category will have done him well. Right, we've got Anton Dupin, who was right in the thick of the action, available there. We've also got, I'm sure that's Ian Roots, and then we've got Steve Clace as well. So,
yeah, let's do it. Let's get Anton in.
Get Anton in, yeah.
Right then, Anton, welcome to the commentary box.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. So, fairly eventful one for yourself. I thought you had a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, I had a pretty good race. Was kind of having a bad feeling with the car, sliding a bit too much, but I tried to stay calm and stay away from the incidents, and well, that worked out pretty fine.
There weren't many Ferraris in the field today, but you and Steve both showed the good pace with it. How was the car around this circuit? Because we know that it's probably a Mercedes track.
Yeah, well, the Mercedes has got, it's more stable and it's easier to drive. Ferrari is not slow, but it's just a lot harder to handle.
So did you find that was there any particular area of the track? I mean, for instance, you looked very, very strong in under braking for the slow corners. Were there any particular areas that you thought the car was struggling?
I didn't understand that. Can you repeat?
So you looked very good under braking for the slow corners. Was there any part of the track that the car didn't really like?
Yeah, like in turning in, the car had kind of the intention to slide on the four wheels, so I missed quite some apexes, so that wasn't very good. But yes, under braking, the car was really good.
On to the next one then, Zolder. Is that a circuit that you like? Is that one that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, it's not too bad. I've raced quite a bit on it, so I know it quite well. It obviously helps. It's not my favorite, but it's okay.
All right, and okay is sometimes good enough, Adam, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
It's yeah.
So, thanks very much for joining us in the commentary box. Do you have any shout-outs to make? Do you have anybody you'd like to say thank you to?
I just want to thank all the admins and all the drivers to make this such a great series. I was involved from the beginning. I saw it, like the level really went up a lot, and it's just big fun.
Nice one. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers to Anton. As Ian is, I believe, an admin on this, we'll leave him to the end. So I think we'll get Steve Clace in next, and Sat
There we go.
Oh, Steve, welcome to the commentary box.
Hello guys, good evening.
Finished 14th place in the end in the goals class in the Learn to Race car. Tell us about how your race unfolded in the Ferrari.
Well, honestly, I had a good race. I was kind of surprised by the top 10 qualifying. So that brought me up to par, up to the front where I wanted to be. Cause yeah, first turn at Monza is not a joy. So you really have to be in front of the chaos. So that was a good.
There's not too many Ferraris in the field this one. What was the main strength of the car? Was it the fact that it was quick in a straight line? Whereabouts on the circuit was the car at its best?
Yeah, the Ferrari is known for its top speed, but everybody knows that the Mercedes is just the car to beat. But I didn't want to take the car that everyone's driving, so it would have been a full field of Mercedes. I ran it last year, the Ferrari, and it suits me well. I just enjoy it, so I kept it. Yeah, I wanted to keep that car and not change. I really doubted to take the McLaren to really be an outsider, but okay, I didn't do it. But yeah, the Ferrari is fast on the straights, but it's very hard to keep up with those Mercedes.
Just on the screen now, a good few battles with the BMWs as well. Oh, you very nearly got taken out by one of them in the early stages. There was a crash right behind you going down one of the straights.
Yeah, I watched them battle and I saw that yeah, they clipped each other, and I was like, oh, okay, this gives me a little bit breathing space. I really don't know what happened there or who's at fault, but okay, they crashed, they collided, and that gave me breathing space, and then I just ran my own race, you know.
Finally, we go to Zolder next week in Belgium. Do you reckon it's definitely going to be a slower circuit than here at Monza? Do you reckon that's going to help, or is it going to hinder the Ferrari at all?
Well, unfortunately, I really have to miss my home race due to working circumstances. But I know the Ferrari is not very fast there. It's a very difficult track for that car. I'm looking forward to the Spa race because it's a fast track, long sweeping turns, and Zolder is not that easy with the Ferrari. So, but I'm gonna miss it anyway, which is unfortunate, but that's the way life goes. But I'm happy for this race, the good result. I had luck at the first turn at Daytona last week, and at Silverstone I got tagged twice and got spun. So I'm very happy that I only got 2 off tracks, no errors, so I got a decent result.
Brilliant. Well, before we let you go, have you got anybody you want to send a quick shout out to, a quick thank you?
Well, first off, I really want to thank Simracersworld, the whole staff, especially Ian, for bringing this league into the open. And it started small with just a couple friends and guys who wanted to race. But if you check out the field now, it's just perfect. It's broadcasted, so thanks to you guys too. And yeah, just love it. So yeah, thank you to everyone involved making this happen.
Well done on your drive today, and if you're not going to be at Zolder next week, then hopefully we'll be chatting to you then in 2 weeks' time when the championship heads to Bathurst in a few weeks.
Yeah, well, I'm not really looking forward to it, but Bathurst is not really my track, but I better start practicing.
Well done, so cheers. Thanks for speaking to us.
Okay, thanks you for having me. Bye bye, guys.
Thanks, Steve.
Last driver.
Steve plays there. Fastest Ferrari. Tifosi quite happy with that performance, I think. And yeah.
Fastest Belgian to drive a Ferrari, probably.
There you go.
There you go, Steve.
Jackie Hicks will have something to say about that, I would imagine, but yeah, we'll see. He's not too far away, I would imagine. So, Ian Root said. So, Ian, welcome to the commentary box. Last but not least.
Good evening, guys. I don't normally jump straight into the commentary, but tonight was a good night for me. After two, let's just shall we say, weeks to forget, I finally had a good race.
Yeah, I mean, I think take us through the start, because the start it looked very chaotic in the middle of the field.
Well, starting in 14th, which is about my qualifying position, to be fair. I'm not as quick as those guys at the front. I never will be. But no, the start was, from my perspective, one of the cleanest starts I've seen for a long, long time. And I must shout out to Fernando Couto, because we were side by side for the first half a lap, and utmost respect for him through both the chicanes, side by side. And, you know, there wasn't any inch given, but it was just total respect. And if it wasn't for that, then I think race could have been over very early on. But I managed to keep ahead of him halfway around the lap, and I think that made my race, because I was beginning to hold people up, and I know I was holding people up, so I was waiting for my tyres to come in. It took 5 laps. Once I'd got my tyres up to temperature, I think I put in 18 laps, all in the 147s. So consistency, and I managed to get that gap, and that was it really. From there on, I could see it all happening in my mirrors, and it was swapping places like nothing else behind me, but they were holding one another up, which went in my favour.
Of course, in Monza, the best strategy is really to wait quite a long time for the pit stop, because obviously the tyres don't really take that much punishment. Did you actually take any tyres in your stop, or did you just leave the ones on? Did you? Yeah.
No, I left them on there, but I think after the pit stop I was a full second a lap slower. No, it was only 13 minutes I think after the pit stop. I couldn't get back into the 47s again. It was 48s all the way to the end, and as luck should have it, everybody else behind me was doing the same. So tyres is hard at Monza. Front end gets a real hammering. That front left, there's nothing left of it. I think it was down to 60% I think at the end of that hour, so there wasn't a lot left of it. I had a bit of a moment on the penultimate lap where I thought I was going to end up again facing the wrong way, but yeah, saved it. And yeah, good result, 50 points for the championship, which should pull me up just about top 10 I think, which has always been my goal right from the start of the season. Top 10 at the end of the season will be where I want to be, to be fair.
Well, you've got a good chance to do that. Just keep that consistency going. Zolder next.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think?
Well, it's not taken a rocket scientist to work out how many Belgians there are in the group. Zolder, I like it. I love the track. I've been there in real life. I'm going there again in May. It is a stunning track. It's like Brands. It's very short. It's very fast. But the trouble is, defending there is very easy. So making overtakes if you don't qualify very well is very, very tough. It's very narrow as well, so the start could be a bit hectic again. But I don't think you'll catch the Belgians. I think Greg and Yves, Matthias, Steen, Ruben, Stephen de Wolf, Jeremy Hessels, they're all it's their stomping ground. It's where they come from, so they're all very, very quick there. So it should be a good meet, but if I can finish top 10 again, I'll be very, very happy with that.
Well, we'll be happy to see it as well. Just give us a shout out to team sponsors, anybody you'd like.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Jochen. He series sponsor from Dynamics, does a fantastic job. His business is taking off, and I'm thinking that Simracersworld has a little bit to do with that. He's sim racing, sells sim racing gear, and yeah, he's part of the community. Does us proud, gives us all discount when we want new parts. So it's a shout out to Jochen, thank you very much. And just everybody else in the group, you know, they're a great bunch of guys. The group is going from strength to strength, and as you can see by some of the racing on track, the respect is second to none.
All right, well, like I say, it seemed like it was a pretty good evening's racing. We enjoyed watching it, and yeah, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you very much. Take care.
Cheers, Ed. Right then, Adam. I think that just about does it from Monza. It's been good.
Yeah, it's been a fun evening. Admit. Yeah, great battles all the way through the field. Gold, silver, and bronze, all well presented tonight. Hopefully, we can get more of the same as Zolder, which is going to be tight and twisty, and the drivers are going to have to get inventive on their overtake.
Yeah.
There isn't too many.
They're going to just have to go for it, aren't they? Yeah, exactly.
Send it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Well then, yeah. Thanks to Andrew Woodhouse for joining me in the commentary box as always.
No,
We'll be back. We'll be reunited for the next one a week today, same time, 8 o'clock GMT here on Apex Racing TV. Of course, thanks to Sam on the cameras, helping us make sense of everything, including giving us some useful info on which drivers have been in the pits and whatnot. And thank you all for watching as well. Make sure to give us a like, a subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you know when we are live. The next broadcast will be in the next few days, but for now, from all three of us here at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, bye for now.